What's up in War Eagle War Report family? You got Ike Jones. We are here with another Facts or Nah Friday. And y'all know how we do. We're getting in here answering your questions live here on the War Report. So go ahead and get those in here in the live chat. Y'all know how we do right here, War Report style. Just drop it on them.
You are now listening to the War Report. Drop.
Morning drop. Ike Jones, B Will in here. Facts or Nah Friday. And we are answering your questions during the bye week. Auburn not playing this weekend, so no chance for Auburn fans to feel any pain of losing a game this weekend.
That's true. That's true.
However, we're still here doing our thing with the War Report. You know what I'm saying?
It can't get worse this weekend. That's the good thing. It can't get worse. Hopefully, it's getting better behind the scenes. Hopefully, it's getting better.
So, as always, we are brought to you by the good folks at the Rogue Shop. You guys need to be doing the necessary while you're in here, and that is sharing the video at the War Report. Hashtag get your weight up so we can get some more people in here. Go ahead and like the video if you're watching right now. Don't wait to the end of the video to like it. Like it right now. We should have 28 likes because there are 28 people, now 32 people and growing in here. We should have that many likes on this video. Go ahead. While you're in here, like the video, and we appreciate y'all doing that. And go ahead and get your questions in right now because we will be going to the questions from you all live here in the chat as soon as we are done with the Twitter questions. Be Will, how you feeling though this morning, man? You good?
I'm feeling all right, man. Getting rid of this gunk. You know what I'm saying? Kids was sick early in the week. They was here. They got me sick. Sent them back to school. Now mine's clearing up. You know what I'm saying? So I'm feeling a little bit better. A little bit.
Listen, man, I about to say I was going through it all last week, man. So definitely on the rebound, I'm feeling a lot better myself. So we getting in here, getting it in. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
All right, so we got to go to the Twitter questions first. Didn't get a lot of questions from Twitter this week, and a lot of questions pertaining to LSU. A little ahead. They're a week ahead on some of these, but we're still going to get into these. And you guys get your questions ready. Bye week questions, people. Bye week, not LSU. Bye week questions. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah. Let's get into it. What we got going from the Twitter folks here. We will get it kicked off. Twitter fam. Pierce Hansen tweeting at Racing Delta Arena, who says, facts and all, Simpson is the clubhouse leader for the Thorp Award. Best defensive back in the country. Jalen Simpson, is he the leader in the clubhouse right now for the Thorp Award?
You know, I think he's got a really good chance at it, especially when you perform like that against an opponent like Georgia. It puts you in the national spotlight, but I'm actually going to say nah. And the reason I'm going to say no, he does lead, or he's tied for the lead in interceptions in the country. There is a defensive back at Iowa, and how many catches are getting caught on him is phenomenal. Iowa always plays really good defense and zero offense, so they have to do a good job. They usually put good DBs in the league, and he is balling. I actually saw a little Twitter post on him. I was like, man, this guy's balling. Dang. He's going to give a guy some competition. Now, I think we are going to face more potent offenses than he is going to face over the course of the rest of the season. And that's why I don't know if he's the leader. I think Simpson is tied perception-wise because these awards are perception-based.
Right.
All right. But with the pedigree of what they usually put out up there in Iowa, I think there's a good chance that he may take the backseat to that guy down the stretch because they have more disgusting defenses up there in the Big Ten than we do down here. So I'm gonna say facts, but a tie, or is that a no? I don't know.
I mean, it's a push, I guess, if you're going leader or nah. But I'm gonna say the answer is Nah, just because I mean, I think that Jalen Simpson is definitely deserving of, he's at least, in my opinion, a finalist right now. If they were to stop and do the awards today, Jalen Simpson would be on the finalist
Most
list.
definitely. Most definitely.
Um, because it's a perception thing, like you said, I think that voters will be a little more biased to teams with better records than Auburn. What is Iowa's record right now? I don't even know what Iowa's
They're
record is
not
in the
good. They're
season.
like 3-2, I
Oh,
believe.
well, maybe okay. Probably tied then. Like you're probably right. Probably tied.
Yeah.
Um, there's some good defensive backs out there in the country right now. I think that Jalen Simpson is amongst the best.
Yeah.
He has done, of course, the interceptions have been good, but he's also done a good job in coverage. He's done a good job tackling. Like, he's just a good defensive back, and he
Yeah.
deserves to be on this list, even if he doesn't win it. But I think
Mhm.
Auburn needs to finish this season strong defensively to keep him in the running there. So
Agreed.
right now, I'm going to say, nah, he's not the leader, but he's up there.
Yeah. Agree.
Let's see here. Next, we have Thomas Jones tweeting at Big Cool 9999, who says, "Facts or not, the bye week pays off for us. Auburn finally passes for over 100 yards and at least one touchdown reception against LSU." This is specific to LSU, but do you think we get the pass game together during this bye week? Facts or not?
Oh, there's a question of whether it would be the bye week that did it or LSU's terrible pass defense that did it. That would really be the question. We could pass for 200 on LSU and it really not be any better prospects for us for the rest of the season, because LSU appears to be that bad on defense and they're going to be coming off the road. We got a lot going in our favor going into this game. I think we should definitely pass for over 100 yards. Facts. I'm iffy on whether or not that means that the pass game has turned the corner. There are a lot of factors going into that game that could give us that result of a better passing attack in that game, but not necessarily after that game. But I'm going to say facts to over 100 yards at LSU.
Yeah, I mean, again, I will say facts to this because LSU's defense has not, been able to stop anything this year. I don't know if that is whether or not that proves to say that we fixed anything. I don't know. Right. LSU's if we don't pass for over 100 yards versus this LSU defense, then we're definitely doing something wrong, or we're not even trying. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what this is going to tell us about our offense versus this LSU defense.
Right.
It will be terrible if we don't, though. Let's just say that. If we can't move the ball against a defense that's been this bad in LSU, who's not coming off of a bye week like we are, then we got some problems.
Yeah.
Let's see here. Two-parter here, and this is going to be the last one that we have. Coming from Bubba and the Old Man, tweeting at Bubba and the Old One. Shout out to Bubba and the Old Man. They have a channel over there where they do some Auburn content as well. But first one they have is Faction over under 25 passing attempts versus LSU. Thoughts on that one?
How well is the run game working? Have they committed to Peyton Thorne all over again? Man, that's a lot. That is a lot of what ifs up in the air. I am going to say under 25 pass attempts because I think we just saw we have the ability to possess the ball long enough with the running game where we shouldn't have to air it out a bunch. We should be able to control the clock, control tempo, and keep the ball away from the other team's offense, give them limited opportunities. And if you do that, you shouldn't need to be in a situation where you absolutely have to pass it repeatedly. So I'm going to say under on the pass attempts. Now, does Jarquez have his official breakout game?
Hold on. Are we doing them one at a time, man?
Okay. My bad.
I'm going to say we're going to go over 25 pass attempts versus LSU.
All right.
Even though that wasn't a facts and all question, Bubba, no, man. You're supposed to pose this as a facts and all, but it's cool. I think we're going to go over on that one. So let's get to the next one. Does Jarquez Hunter have his official breakout game next Saturday, meaning over 100 yards? Over 100 yards for Jarquez Hunter, facts or not, be Will?
I'm going to say nah. I think we're splitting it up too well. Batty is running very well, whether it's going to be Peyton Thorne or Robbie. We're getting production from the quarterback position. Jarquez going over 100 will be about some really big breakout runs, which maybe this LSU defense is going to give up. Who knows? But if I'm going to say we stick to our mid 4 to mid 5 per carry average as far as yardage goes, is he going to get 18 carries, 17, 18 carries? I don't think he gets that. So I'm going to say nah.
I'm actually gonna go facts on this one. I think he is
Oh.
gonna break a couple of big runs in this game. I think
Mm.
the LSU defense doesn't like to play defense enough that he's
They
gonna get his opportunities to do that.
just out there for show.
Yeah, I mean they
Exercising.
like, so far this season they have been.
Yeah.
So with Damari still potentially down, it's going to be him and Batty having the bulk of those carries. As long as we don't, run the quarterback 40 times in this game, then Jarquez Hunter should get his opportunity. So I'm going to go facts on this. He's going to have over 100 yards in that game coming up.
Yeah. I'm with.
All right. That is it from the questions that we got out there in Twitter land. B Will, you said you had some that you wanted to throw out there for me before we go over here to the fan questions. So what you got for me this morning?
You know what, man? I've been thinking about this. I think quarterback's a little too easy. I was thinking about the quarterback question, but something that you and I were talking about, and we've all been able to see it, is that the wide receivers have not played up to par. Hugh Freeze has said it. We've said it on Tape Watch, and it's been noted several times after the last game by the fan base. But facts or not, we're going to see some different combinations of wide receivers and tight ends after the bye week, and it won't just be about quarterback.
Different combinations. That's hard to say because we've seen a lot of different variations and combinations. I will say facts, and I'll answer it in this way. I think that they are going to have figured out what that rotation looks like a little bit more solidified in the wide receiver room. So we're going to see more of a cemented wide receiver group trot out there consistently. Now that most of that group is healthy, they're going to try to get a more consistent rotation of the same guys out there consistently so that we can know what we really have in that wide receiver room. From the tight end standpoint, I expect us to run a little bit more multiple tight end packages. So I'm going to say facts on that as well. We saw a little bit of that in the Georgia game where they would trot 3 tight ends out there on a play. I think we're going to see a little bit more of that consistently for this team as well. Shortening again that wide receiver rotation, but putting more tight ends out there on the field. So I'll say facts on that.
Okay. And I think I don't really have a thought or an inkling one way or another, but I'm hoping facts. I'm hoping what we've seen from the tight end. Number one, the tight end, the blocking. I think that's probably the most surprising thing is that they've been willing to put out tight ends who haven't done great blocking. And I don't know, man. At some point, that's either going to hurt your run game, obviously, but your pass game. I need you, if we're going to have a short passing game that works, everybody's got a block down here. And it seems we wanted to see more quick passing. And I figure that's got to be part of what they shore up in the bye week to make sure that a short passing game is possible is get your best blockers down on the line of scrimmage. So I'm hoping facts, but we shall see.
We definitely will see. All right. We are going to get over into the questions from you all here in the live chat. We appreciate you guys dropping in with us this morning. As always, the morning drop is brought to you by Rogue Shop. Head over to rogueshop.com using code RAPPORT to get you 15% off of your purchase. Rogueshop.com is America's #1 online dispensary. Something that ails you, Rogue Shop probably has a little remedy for you, whether it's stress, pain relief, anxiety. Rogue Shop's got something there. So make sure you head over to rogueshop.com using code RAPPORT, and that lets them know you guys, the War Report, sent you. Over in the chat this morning, a lot of conversation going on. We'll get it kicked off this morning with Derek Anderson, who says, facts or not, Thorne figures things out during the off week. It's a very open-ended facts or not. Figures things out is up to interpretation, but I will let you interpret that how you feel. B. Will, what you saying?
If it's possible, I think Thorne started to figure things out. Georgia. I still don't know if the staff has figured things out with Thorne. So I'm going to say yes, Thorne has figured things out, but what part of what he's figured out is that he does not trust every pass catcher that's on the field for us. And
Mm.
that affects his quarterback play. So will the coaches figure out who cannot be trusted and get them off the field so that Thorne can be a little looser operating the offense? That's the true question. But I say facts. I say facts that the light is slowly coming on for Thorne, and it will continue to do so coming out of the bye. I just don't know if the rest of what needs to happen around him will be ready to help make that maturation more visible to us.
Yeah, figures things out. I don't know, man. I'll say facts. Sure, he's figuring some things out. I'm hoping that what we saw that final drive versus Georgia, or the final couple drives actually versus Georgia, is more emblematic of what we're going to see on the offense as far as throws that are available for him and that he's going to take. Um, there's still some things that he absolutely needs to work on. So during the bye week, this is more hopeful, wishful thinking than anything. They're going to have worked on this stuff and they're going to get in there and have a plan that works well for him. So figures things out. Maybe, I don't know. We'll say facts just to continue to keep hope alive.
Yeah.
P Pass jumps in with the next one. Facts or nah? Missouri runs LSU out of the building. How you feel about this one?
We talked about this on the Wednesday show. The benefit for LSU is that their offense is better. Their offense is as good as build, and Jaden Daniels is actually playing better this year. I don't think they get run out of any building because they'll have the offense to keep up. Their defense, Mizzou might run LSU's defense out the building. LSU's offense is going to be there putting up points. So, nah, that's not for me.
Yeah, I'm gonna go nah on this one as well. Running out the building, I don't see LSU, as bad as that first game was against Florida State in the final score. LSU still moved the ball at will against Florida State in that game. They just froze up, near the goal line a couple of times, or that score would have been a lot closer. So they haven't really been run off the field by anybody this season. I don't think Missouri's going to be the team to do it to them this week. I'm going to say nah on this one as well.
With you.
Derek Anderson jumps in. Facts or not, Freeze calls plays next season, going all the way to the next season.
You know what? That is a guess from me, and that guess would be based on how well does the offense go for the rest of this season? Because if he doesn't feel like he can actually entrust an offense to run well without him, he's going to have to take over.
Right.
And so do I think what they learn and what they come together and figure out in the bye week is going to be good enough for him to say, you know what? You don't need me here. I can go back and recruit. I think he does not call plays next season. I think he entrusts the play calling and the offense in general more to the staff that he's built. I think what they're going through right now is probably foundational to working together and getting things figured out, not only with the quarterback they have, but in how the brain trust will work between the three of them. That's the QB coach and of course and Philip Montgomery and Hugh Freeze. I think they're building the foundation for Hugh to be able to step away more comfortably going forward in his Auburn tenure. So I am going to say nah.
This is a difficult one for me because if Philip Montgomery is still the offensive coordinator here, this is an absolute nah.
Right.
But I think a lot of this depends on how we finish this season off. I think he calls plays a little bit more the remainder of this season and then trusts the offensive coordinator more next season after he's like, all right, I showed y'all how I really want it done.
Right.
Now, y'all, I'm going to hand it off to you. He's going to have a full off season, a full, if it's the same offensive coordinator next year, then I think that offensive coordinator, Philip Montgomery, will call plays next year. If they make a change, however, which I'm not predicting that's going to happen, but it is possible. You don't know what happens year over year in all of these things. Does Philip Montgomery want to go back to being a head coach? I don't know.
Yeah.
Right. But for right now, I'm going to say, nah, he's not going to call plays next year.
Okay.
Ephesians 2:8-9 says, facts or not, Peyton Thorne remains the starter through the bye week and has a 2021 bowl-like day in Death Valley at night.
Bowl-like day. Bo, he had a couple of miraculous plays in that game that definitely feel like he was the biggest reason we won that game. that night and broke that losing streak in Death Valley. I don't think Peyton Thorne has that in him. If we win in Death Valley, Peyton Thorne will not be the biggest reason why, and he doesn't have Bo Nix plays in him. He can still be efficient. He can still get the yards on the ground and make some timely throws, but nah, it wouldn't be because Peyton Thorne plays like Bo Nix played in 2021. That's not for me.
Yeah, if we're talking about running around, dodging defenders, and Peyton Thorne doesn't have that kind of athleticism in him. I'm gonna go absolutely not on this. That he cannot reproduce what Bo Nix did that day. That was one of the more improbable quarterback performances. That's not replicable.
Yeah,
From especially from Peyton Thorne. Like again, Peyton Thorne could have a good day. I'm not saying that he can't have a good day, but he ain't gonna be. It's not gonna look like that Bo Nix game did in Death Valley.
right.
So yeah, I'm gonna go nah on that one. Next up we have Stephen Riley, who says, and there's been quite a few in this same genre. Facts or not, Peyton Thorne played well enough in the Georgia game to keep his spot. So we had a couple people ask, facts or not, we have a new quarterback coming out of the bye week. Facts or not, Peyton Thorne remains the starter for the rest of the season. Facts or not, does he keep his spot because he played well enough against Georgia? Facts or not?
Probably facts, and I've got questions as well as what they want to pivot into from what they've seen so far in the first 5 games. Do you pivot to more of the run game? Do you just say, hey, we're going to run it and just sprinkle a little throw? So Robbie's the best guy for that. Let's make him the starter. Peyton Thorne, I thought, did a decent job of executing the game plan. Again, we've talked about this between Sunday and Wednesday, but he wasn't the biggest reason why the offense wasn't moving that game. So I think the coaches are going to go forward with what they've invested in him so far, because he has progressed from the first game to now as far as what we've seen him fail at and miss early in the season compared to that last game. It's like, okay, it didn't look awful from you. You're getting there, making progress. So I think they stick with him. So I say facts.
Yeah, I think that Peyton Thorne is going to continue to be the starting quarterback. I don't think that he played poorly versus Georgia. And so whatever evaluation Coach Freeze was hinting at a couple of weeks ago that's going to be happening during the bye week, I think what happened during Georgia was enough for them to say, okay, we've got something to build off of here. So I'm going to go facts that Peyton Thorne remains the starter, at least for this next game. I don't know if there's any change on the horizon either. So I'm going to say facts on that one.
Yeah.
Dustin Pace jumps in. Facts or not, we go undefeated after the bye week, putting it all together on offense. Maybe wishful thinking. Not maybe.
that is wishful thinking. I'm going to say nah, that we don't go undefeated. We have to see a couple of decent defenses here remaining that are on our schedule, and I don't have the most confidence in us on the road right now. You know what I mean? So Arkansas was the one I had as a boss win for us at the beginning of the season. I'm feeling less and less good about that. So we shall see. But nah, we're not going undefeated the rest of the season now.
Yeah, I'm going to go nah on this one as well. I was having a conversation about this recently, and Auburn has the potential to win at least 4 more games this season. I think at least 4. I'm not saying that we're only going to win 4. We'll definitely win 4, but I think we have at least 4 more wins left on this schedule this season. Whether or not we'll accomplish that has a lot to do with whether or not this offense gets in gear. But undefeated for the remaining 7, I can't see that happening. I'm going to go nah on that one.
Yeah.
Another one here from Dustin Pace, though, says facts and all, the offense produces 400 rushing yards rushing in any of our upcoming games. You see us putting up 400 on the ground in any of the games we have left on the season.
We definitely could. We could do that in a couple of games. I'm looking at LSU's defensive efficiency. I'm looking at Ole Miss's defensive efficiency. And really, it's a really good question. New Mexico State, right?
Mm-hmm.
They're coming up eventually.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we could definitely put a 400 on them. And that could be everybody gets a big run type game. So, yeah, we got a couple of possibilities in there where I think it could happen. Sure. Facts.
You know what? If they commit to the run, I'll say facts on this one as well. My worry is that they're going to try to force some pass in there, for this to try to supplement. Which I won't say worry, right? My worry is that that's not going to lead to us not getting 400 yards. I think
Right.
getting the short passing game in order is something that we need to do, but I think that there's a possibility for a 400 yard performance out there if we continue to mix in the quarterback run at strategic points. The quarterback has been good for us on the ground so far this season. I'll go facts on this one.
I'm with it. I'm with it.
Another one from Dana Jones here. Facts or not, Wyoming takes down undefeated Fresno State and enters the top 25. This is a very off the beaten path one here,
Hmm.
but any thoughts on Wyoming versus Fresno State, Beat Will?
Wyoming's better than people expected them to be so far this season. I didn't know Fresno was undefeated. I had not been keeping up with them, but that's interesting that Fresno's undefeated. Wait, didn't Fresno? Wait, USC beat a West Coast team at the top of the. Was it they played San Jose State early? That was USC that played San Jose State. I don't know, man. Fresno's been like consistently decent for the last few years. I'm gonna ride with Fresno on that without any research. I'm gonna say nah. Wyoming does not take down Fresno. That Fresno wins that game.
I'm gonna say I have no idea because I ain't watched neither one of them teams, and I couldn't even tell you what their school colors are. I don't know.
Yeah, I know who knows.
Chris S. Facts or not, 2 consecutive wins in Death Valley. Hallelujah.
Well, by the way, Wyoming is doo-doo brown and yellow. Those are actually their colors: doo-doo brown and yellow. So,
Okay.
2 consecutive wins. This was the one I had as a loss, but I don't think any of us saw LSU's defense being this porous. And us coming off of the bye and LSU playing that we would be their 7th straight game, and we're coming off of a bye. I think that's the difference. I'm gonna say facts. Sprinkle a little boog on that too. I'm gonna say facts, man. 2 years or 2 contests straight in LSU, we get dubs. Yeah, facts.
I'm gonna say I don't know yet because it's not time for me to answer this question. I'm gonna hold off on answering this until we start talking LSU week.
Okay.
Roger Aiken says Faction Our Holding gets at least 1 start this season.
Man, I don't think so, man. I think nah. I don't think they're gonna give the young lad a good look. I think they've invested too much in Peyton Thorne at this point, and going to Holden at this point makes it to where, all right, everything that you worked on with Peyton Thorne and the game plans and when to hit what, you hit the reset button to do that with Holden. Bigger arms, sure. Maybe less gun shy, yes. But everything about mentally and seeing the defenses and what the offensive coordinators are trying to do with you, you lose that experience. You lose that experience not just from the years that Thorne played at Michigan State. You lose that experience from him with the struggles this year. That accounts for something. That means something. And I don't think they're going to switch it up to go to somebody who hasn't been a part of the game plan of the offense for 5 straight weeks. Nah.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to say nah on this one as well. I don't think that he gets a start. Will he get into a game? Potentially, yes, but I don't think that he is going to get any starts this season for Auburn. I just can't see it happening. Yeah, nah. Last one here. James Barnett says Faxonal Robbie plays and runs for 100 yards and throws for 200. I'm guessing this is against LSU or at some point in the season. I don't know which of these things we're saying, so I'm going to guess it's an LSU question.
Well, we already said that we think that Peyton Thorne is going to get to keep the torch going into the bye week and coming out of the bye week. So I'm going to say, I don't think there's going to be that much opportunity for Robbie in this game. If the game plan that they came up with on the bye week is working, we got a really big advantage here because you've seen LSU struggle against certain things. You're going to get to see them against a decent offensive team in Missouri and them try to poke holes in LSU's defense as well. And you just get to sit back taking notes. If you can't come out of that bye week with a game plan for your starting quarterback, in this case, Peyton Thorne, that moves the ball, then I would be really upset at our coaching staff at that point. I think they're going to get enough done on offense with Peyton Thorne that Robbie won't have these opportunities to throw and run for that much. So I am going to say, nah.
Yeah, I'm gonna say no to this as well. I don't think the throwing one is what puts it off for me on this one. I think it's a potential that he could run for 100 yards in this game, even in
Yeah, he
limited
could.
opportunities. But I don't think that he'll have enough passing attempts to throw for 200 unless he throws the ball 3 times and all of them are like 70 yards a piece or something like that. And that's still not even, it's well, he gets 200 for 70 yards each. But yeah, I don't think that that's going to happen in this game. I am going to go nah on that one.
Yep.
All right, that's it, man. We are going to get out of here. We appreciate you all dropping in with us. As always, the sponsor of the morning drop is Rogue Shop. RogueShop.com is where you need to go to head over there for America's #1 online dispensary. Use code REPORT to get you something off of your purchase. We'll be back at you guys again on Sunday, so we don't have any game day stuff for you this week. Unfortunately, we won't get a chance to see you guys on Saturday, but we will be back with the weekend tailgate on Sunday. So you guys make sure that you keep tuned in. Until then, share the video before you get out of here. Like the video before you get out of here. Subscribe if you haven't. As always, we are the War Report, and we love y'all. War Eagle. Peace.
Peace.